Okay, guys, so you think all 55 plus communities are created equal? Think again. Here in Columbia, South Carolina, there are not that many truly official 55 plus communities here in Columbia. What I'm going to do today is I'm breaking down exactly where they came from, how they work, and which ones are worth your attention. And make sure you stick around to the very end. And through the middle, I'm going to show you a community that's coming here to Columbia. And I'm also going to show you a community that has new builds right here, lower HOAs, and it's in the heart of Lexington, close to everything. Now, my name is Chad Norman. I'm a local real estate agent here in Columbia, South Carolina, and I help folks from all over find their perfect home here in the Midlands. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And if you're thinking of making a move, call, text, email me, or better yet, set up a Zoom call on my calendar so that we can build you a custom plan. Every video, all the research that I've done on these 55 plus communities, nobody, even on YouTube videos or anything else, they never tell what they are. What is a 55 plus community? Where did it come from? How long has it been around? Or why do we even need 55 plus communities? These are great questions, and they can be anywhere from retirees. When I walk into a neighborhood and stuff, I get asked all the time, are the people my age, or are they my same race, or are they? These are things a realtor cannot answer due to the Fair Housing Act on the Act on Discrimination. All I can say is most of the time what I tell people is come back later, walk the neighborhood, see what you see. But I cannot discriminate on older versus younger, white versus black as far as race. But the first one was actually done as age restricted community in Youngstown, Arizona, and it was established as a 55 plus neighborhood. And then in 1960, popularized as an active adult retirement community concept. And it said in Sun City, it quickly started gaining national attention and inspired the development of similar communities all across the country. Well, then in 1995, they all helped us as far as realtors. Housing for Old Persons Act, HOPA, HOPA. It was passed and it created an exemption to that Fair Housing Act and it established guidelines for an age restricted community. Now, if it's an age restricted community like this, as far as 55 plus, I can go in and I can tell a client this. I can tell them all the amenities. I can tell them as far as the covenants and restrictions, what rules are there. And they actually have rules set up for them in 55 plus communities. They have them set up so that only those type people, to where only one, at least one person that is 55 or older, one person has to be a resident in that house. And there are requirements for other people too. There are certain requirements such as no kids. There are certain requirements such as even a spouse or something still has to be 40 or older. But every community is a little bit different. So each community has their own regulations. The age restriction in South Carolina and pretty much throughout the US for that 55 plus community is 80% of the community has to have one resident in their house that is 55 years or older. And so the other 20% that doesn't have a 55 plus person in their household, check, because a lot of the communities around the nation, and even here in Columbia too, a lot of those communities, they still have guidelines for what that other 20% is. Doesn't mean that a young family in their 30s with kids can come in that community. These communities are designed for active and independent seniors that are seeking a low maintenance lifestyle and a strong sense of community. What they're looking for is a lot of different amenities, and some of these can be they have clubhouses, they have fitness centers, pools. A lot of them are on golf courses that you can go in and you can enjoy. Now, what I don't want you to get is I don't want you to think in Columbia, because we don't have a lot of official 55 plus communities. I don't want you to get them mixed up with independent living and assisted living. Independent living communities, they typically offer a broader range of services. So you can actually have meals made, housekeeping, transportation, other things that may not be available in a 55 plus community. Now, assisted living facilities, they have a lot of those same things where they prepare meals and stuff, but they also have staff that are close by that can assist if somebody needs bathing, dressing, medical management. That's not the focus of most 55 plus community. Considering a 55 plus community here in Columbia, it's crucial to research these specific communities and review. You want to review their covenants, conditions, and restrictions, because in that neighborhood, they're going to lay it out as to what those are for each of the additional occupants, for the age range of them, all of that. You have those periodic reviews about every 2 years because people move in and out of these communities at the same time. Now, how do you enforce these? What happens if you do something with HOAs? You park your boat in there, or you're not paying your HOA fees, different things. Well, you can get fined for. Same thing with 55 plus community. With if you don't adhere to those requirements and stuff, it may get into legal action. You know, in HOAs, they can actually put a lien on the house too, mechanics lien on different things. Assume that a lot of that is the same way when it comes to enforcing these. If you don't adhere to that 80-20 rule, a lot of times the Fair Housing Act, if you're caught in violation of that, then that can really mess some stuff up, because then you can go to court for discrimination if you're not a 55 plus community, and it can backlog and cause you to have some real major legal problems. So there's a lot of things. That's why you've got to check your covenants and restrictions, check your HOAs, and make sure you're doing that, because it can not only hurt you, it can hurt everybody involved when it comes up to that. There's a lot of communities that retirees will go for, and they don't want all those restrictions. I've settled clients of mine into 55 plus communities that aren't 55 plus communities officially, but it suits them much more, which is why you want to make sure that you have a realtor like me that knows a lot of these communities, knows where they are. And even if it's not a 55 plus community, what we're also going to go over are retiree benefits. One of the reasons a lot of people come to South Carolina is because we have no tax on Social Security benefits, none at all. A deduction on retirement income for 65 plus individuals. Homestead property tax exemption, the $50,000 homestead property tax exemption, mind you. You have a milder climate and year-round outdoor recreation, and you have lower housing costs than the national average. Now, Columbia itself has lower than anywhere in South Carolina, just about, as far as cost of living, which is why a lot of people move here just for that lower cost of living also. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to go inside the computer, and I want to show you some of these communities that we go to. Let's go. So as we go inside the computer here and we talk about these 55 plus communities, it's really started to increase since the 1995, the HOPA Act, where you could do it as these 55 plus communities and not be discriminating against anybody. So I want to show you just across the nation where a lot of people are. We're going to go into right here around Columbia here. You can see this map. Now, these little houses here are where retirement communities are. But I want to show you where most people are retiring now. All these little houses are 55 plus communities across the United States. This is South Carolina through here. They say Florida is the capital of people going to and retiring. Go down here to Florida. Look at the concentration of retiree communities all along the coast in Florida. Now, most of these people have a bunch of money. They've made it through their lifetime. They have a bunch of money, and they don't mind big HOAs because they want the amenities. They want the clubhouses, the golf, the lake life, the beach life, all this. So they don't mind paying all this, and they don't mind paying exuberant prices, anywhere from 400,000, all the way up to 2 and 3 million. A lot of these places go. Now, one of the things that I noticed, I'll show you. So a difference here in Columbia, you'll see some of these that we're looking at. You go into this one, the Woodlands District. It says age targeted. It does not say 55 plus restrictions. This is just, it's in Saluda River Club. And there's only like a couple of those right now that are available, but they are building more. But they start at 600K, and they're about $475 a quarter for the amenities there that you can use. Then you go into ones like here at Hulan Green. That one it says is a 55 plus age restricted. Age restricted, it's an official one. Now, the reason I show you the difference between those two is because in Columbia, this website, and it's 55 plus, this is what's showing all these. Well, because there's not as many in Columbia, they're showing these that are just age targeted. Those are the ones that have a lot of those amenities, but they're higher cost of living. Now, as I go across the nation, let's say go over here to Texas. Every single one I click on. Now, I will tell you as you go over here to California, like the 80-20 rule in South Carolina, in California, it's 100%. It's not just 80% to get that exemption. And a lot of the things that you can do with a 55 plus community, you actually have to have 100%. Every household has to have at least one member in it that is 55 or plus. Now, let me show you just up the coast. I thought this was hilarious. Just in South Carolina, there's not many here in Columbia. There's a number of them here in Charleston. Almost weird, like there's a bunch in Somerville. Here over at Myrtle Beach, there's a bunch right over here. All the way down here in Hilton Head, there's a bunch in Hilton Head and Beaufort. There's a bunch in there. In Georgia, there's a bunch around here at Atlanta. Up in North Carolina, there's a bunch in Charlotte. So big city, there's a lot of retirement communities like this that offer these amenities where you can do stuff like that too. But then look, as you go higher, you're like Pennsylvania. It's got a ton, and it's all up and down the East Coast here, all the way up into Massachusetts. You can even see like New York here. There's a lot out here in the Hamptons and different places out here. There's a lot of those 55 plus communities as well. But you can see where across the nation, different things like that. You can even see as you get up here, Chicago, there's a bunch in here. It's that big city life. There's a lot there. Now let's go into, we're going to go back down here to Columbia. Let's go show you some of these. So you've got these over in Lexington. This is at Cross Creek, which I'm going to show you. That's the one I'm saving to the end. This one is, here we go, Lexington Villas. There's only 2 available right now, and those are between like $450, $500. Now those are nice villas, and it's a gated community. They've got all kinds of stuff, but the HOA is around $445 a month. So you're talking close to $5,000 a year just in HOAs. If you got the money, you enjoy that lifestyle, it is awesome. You cannot beat it. Just to give you an example, you can go in here and see, these are some of the clubhouses. It's got a pool. It's got a number of things such as that. Then you can go down to the houses. One of these 2 that is for sale. If you look at this one and you go in and you look at these pictures, it's beautiful. But again, it's $400 just for the HOA in that. So, which you're going to pay on a condo downtown as well. So, it just depends what you like, what you can afford. 55 plus community in here is Hulan Green. Now, Hulan Green has, if I go into here, Hulan Green has 2 houses for sale in here. This is a true 55 plus community. It's got all the regulations. It's got all of that. But as you can see, there's only 2 available here. And those are a little less. You've got 150 and you've got one for 320. HOA in here is 257 monthly. So you take that, you're looking at that at 3,000 a month in there. You've got a couple more that are 55 plus communities, but they're not there. Now, Hulan Green is in West Columbia. They have a new development coming in 2027. It's at the old District 2 home office in Lexington District 2. And it is going to be a huge 100 in the first phase. There's 182 different lots going in. It's going to be a huge community. It's going to be called Brooklyn Commons. And it's right on the edge of West Columbia and Casey. That's near Hulan Green. It is a whole new development that is coming in and being built. It's going to be huge. But again, it's not here until 2027. Now, they do have some up here in Blythewood, at Northeast Columbia. You've got Blythewood up here. You've got Elgin out here, Lugoff even past that, where there's a lot of new builds as well. And then you've got all of Northeast Columbia in here. Now, this Executive Courtyards, that is in Lake Carolina in the Northeast area. And it's a beautiful subdivision, but it has none available right now. And those are through 55 plus age restricted, but there's none available, and there's not going to be any unless it's resale coming up. Now in Blythewood, you've got the pond at Cobblestone. That is age targeted, but I did, if you go back to my Blythewood video, I gave all kinds of footage of the Cobblestone. It's a gated community. It's a huge golf course. It's got a clubhouse, a beautiful clubhouse on top of that. Then you're looking at here, Bluff Ridge at Wood Creek in Elgin. That's got 2 listings on there right now, but they're between the 400 and 500s in what you're looking at. And once again, a lot of people don't think we have any here in Columbia. We do have a good many that are 55 plus targeted. Now, this one's age targeted, Peach Grove Villas, and they've got a lot of those amenities, but it is not a true 55 plus. Now, what we're going to do, what I want to show you is what I told you we were going to do in the end. And I want to show you this community. It is called Cross Creek Community. It is right here, and they have about 8 houses available right now. They have some, they are beautiful. They are anywhere from 380,000 all the way up to around 450. They have 4 different plans that are in that Cross Creek subdivision. It is a neighborhood by D.R. Horton. It is in the heart of Lexington. It is considered a 55 plus community. Now, the HOA on that one is $795 for the entire year, and they cut your backyard. Even if you have it fenced in, they do all the maintenance on your front yard. They have pickleball courts. They have a big cabana out there. They've got, it's not a humongous amount of amenities, but you're right in Lexington. You're a 2-minute drive from Target, from TJ Maxx, from Publix. The community has 73 lots that they're building, and it is a fantastic community. It's close to the lake. You can go right across 378, and there's a par 3 over there that you can be a member of. So in Cross Creek, they have all these different amenities that you have inside the houses themselves. But I want to show you some of the pictures that are actually in these houses and what they have going on out here. They're some of the cutest houses around, and you can see just the community. It's an upper scale community that they're doing. They're all new builds. They are beautiful houses, have crown molding. You can see up top, ceiling fans in each one, LVP on the floors, outside screened in porches. These are the pickleball courts that they do that you can go and reserve and play. But what I also wanted to show you is the fact gas stoves, crown molding on the cabinets, the island, everything is either quartz. A lot of them are, if you get from the ground up as they're building them up, you can even choose some of these from granite to quartz and different things such as that. But it also, you get them from a little bit different perspective. 4 different models that you can choose from. And again, they are just upscale D.R. Horton homes. And so that is Cross Creek. In conclusion, so whether you want a full 55 plus experience with age restricted peace and quiet, or just a neighborhood that's naturally full of active retirees, Columbia's got options. And if that Lexington gym at the end caught your eye, or you just want to know which community is best going to fit your lifestyle, I'll help you find the right spot to make the most of your retirement here in the Midlands. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, which would you choose? Would you want a true 55 plus community where you can't really have kids, you can't really have, and you want those type of regulations, and everybody's got to have at least one member that's 55 plus in their household? Call me. Let me know so I can set up a plan for you and we can find exactly the right thing for you.